There is a curious thing that happens when certain women walk into a room. The conversation does not stop. The music does not cut out. Nothing dramatic happens that you could point to and name. But people look. They look for a second longer than they normally would. They pay attention without knowing exactly why. They register something before their brain has even had time to process what it is. And the most intriguing part, the part that took me years to fully understand, is that these women are often not wearing anything expensive. They are not draped in designer labels. They are not carrying bags that cost a month's salary. They simply know a few visual codes that most people have never picked up on. Quiet signals that the eye catches and the mind interprets as presence, as elegance, as someone worth noticing. Today I am going to show you 3 of those codes, just 3. But when you understand what is behind them, the way people see you will change completely. Not because you spent more money, not because you became someone different, but because you learned to send the signals that the world already knows how to read, even if it cannot explain why. Welcome to Elegant After 60. This channel exists for exactly one reason: to help you look and feel like the most confident, radiant, beautifully presented version of yourself at every single age. Not by chasing trends, not by pretending the years did not happen, but by understanding the quiet, powerful language of style that most women are never taught. If that sounds like what you have been searching for, subscribe now and hit the bell, because today's video might fundamentally change how you walk into your next room. Now, before we unlock these 3 codes, I need you to do something important. Drop a comment right now and tell me about a time you noticed a woman before you could explain why. Someone who walked into a space and commanded attention without saying a word. What was she wearing? What did you notice first? Tell me. I read every single comment on these videos, and your stories genuinely shape what I cover next. And while you are down there, smash that like button. This video is about to deliver more practical, perception-shifting style knowledge in the next 15 minutes than most women discover in a lifetime of trial and error. The algorithm needs to know. This content matters. Your like tells it exactly that. Let us get into the 3 accessories that will change how people perceive you. Accessory number 1. The structured bag. How to look more refined in seconds. I will start with something that seems simple, but that professional stylists take very seriously, because it is often the very first thing another person registers about your entire presentation. Imagine 2 women. They are wearing exactly the same outfit, the same blouse, the same trousers, the same shoes. One is carrying a soft, wide, slightly misshapen bag, the kind that slouches when you set it down and has no defined shape of its own. The other is carrying a structured bag in beautiful leather with a clean, defined finish. Without seeing anything else, without knowing anything about these women, which one looks more elegant, more put together, more worthy of attention and respect? The answer is immediate. You did not have to think about it. Your brain made the calculation before you were even aware it was calculating. And it happens because the structured bag communicates something that goes far beyond the clothes themselves. It conveys organization, care, intentionality, an expensive finish, not in terms of price but in terms of visual signal. This is the technique stylists call the noble structure finish. The idea is that the bag is not just a functional accessory. It is not just a container for your phone and your keys. It is the detail that either elevates or quietly destroys an entire look. And it does its work in the first 3 seconds of someone's gaze. The colors that work best for this are caramel, wine, chocolate brown, cognac, off-white, and elegant black. These are colors that read as rich and intentional without screaming for attention. And the result is almost immediate. A white shirt with beige pants becomes a sophisticated, complete look when a structured caramel bag enters the composition. An off-white midi dress gains an entirely new dimension with a clean wine leather bag. The outfit was fine before. With the bag, it becomes finished. What should you avoid? A bag with shiny, obviously plastic leather. Exaggerated hardware that looks like it is trying too hard. A huge logo that announces the brand instead of the woman. Or any visible sign of wear, scuffing, fading, corners that have gone soft and lost their shape. These details communicate the opposite of what you want. They say careless. They say worn out. They say, "I did not think about this." The golden rule here is simple, and it is worth memorizing. The right bag makes a simple outfit look expensive in seconds. The wrong bag makes an expensive outfit look careless. This one accessory frames everything else you are wearing. It is the period at the end of the sentence. But there is a detail that many women overlook completely. A detail that has an even more direct, more immediate effect on how your face is perceived. And that brings us to the second accessory. Accessory number 2. Medium gold earrings. How to illuminate your face and draw people toward your expression. Near the face, any accessory has enormous power. More power than a bag, more power than shoes, more power than anything you wear below the neck. Because when someone looks at you, their gaze naturally travels to your face. It is where connection happens. It is where trust is built. It is where you become a person, instead of just a presence. And the medium gold earring is one of the secrets most used by elegant women, precisely because it works without drawing attention through excess. It does not shout. It does not jangle. It simply sits there and does its quiet work. The principle is what stylists call the facial light point. When a metal with a controlled soft shine sits at the height of the face, it directs the gaze to the woman's expression. It catches ambient light from the room, from a window, from a candle, and reflects it softly upward toward your eyes, toward your smile. The effect is almost subconscious. The viewer does not think, "Those are nice earrings." The viewer thinks, "She looks luminous. She looks present. She looks like someone I want to listen to." And all of that from a small piece of metal near your jawline. Elegant hoops, simple metal drops, classic gold studs, or organic shapes all work beautifully. The secret is in the balance. Not so small that the earring disappears entirely and contributes nothing. Not so large that it competes with your face for attention. The earring should be a supporting actor, not the lead. Your face is always the lead. An off-white shirt with medium gold earrings and beige wide-leg pants is a perfect example of a look that seems costly and considered without spending much at all. A navy dress with a discreet gold hoop reads as quietly confident, completely pulled together, the kind of woman who does not need to try too hard because she knows exactly what she is doing. What should you avoid? Metal, with an overly bright, artificial yellow tone that looks like costume jewelry. Exaggerated gemstones that catch light too aggressively. Anything so heavy that it physically weighs down the earlobe and creates a sense of visual fatigue. The elegant earring should look like part of the woman, not an ornament glued to her. Something she chose because it belongs there, not because she wanted to be seen wearing it. And while the earring takes care of what is near the face, there is another detail that organizes the entire look in a way most people feel but cannot explain. A detail that changes how your whole silhouette reads from across the room. Accessory number 3. The Cognac belt. How to finish your look and define your presence. Here is a secret that separates well-dressed looks from simply tidy ones. From outfits that are merely acceptable to outfits that are genuinely considered. When a woman wears a belt, even a thin one, even a discreet one, the entire look seems finished. It seems thought about. It seems like someone stood in front of the mirror and made a deliberate choice. And those who look at her feel that sense of completion, even without being able to name what they are seeing. They simply register that this woman looks put together, that nothing is missing, that the image is whole. The technique behind this is called proportion marking. The belt creates an intelligent visual division in the body. It does not cut you in half the way a harsh color contrast does. It gently defines. It says, here is the waist, here is the structure. Here is the intentional line that turns a collection of fabric into an outfit. It organizes the silhouette and makes the clothes look more polished, more structured, more expensive. The best options are in cognac, caramel, brown, chocolate, or elegant black tones, thin or medium width. What matters is that the belt appears naturally as part of the composition. Not that it constricts, not that it draws attention to itself, not that it screams, "Look, I am wearing a belt." An elegant belt whispers. It frames the image without demanding to be the image. A white shirt dress with a cognac belt and nude sandals is one of the simplest and most elegant looks there is. It requires almost no thought once you know the formula. Beige wide-leg pants with an ivory blouse and a caramel belt looks like a far more elaborate production than it actually is. The belt is doing the heavy lifting. The belt is the piece that makes the whole thing cohere. What does not work? A belt that is too wide for a light flowing outfit. A very flashy buckle that catches light and bounces it around the room. Worn, cracked leather that tells a story of neglect rather than care. Or any feeling of tightness, of constraint, of the body being bound rather than framed. The elegant belt does not bind the body, it frames the image. There is a profound difference between those two things, and once you see it, you will never unsee it. Let me bring these three accessories together, because here is what they share. None of them shout. None of them need an expensive logo or an exclusive piece to do their work. None of them require you to spend a fortune or reinvent yourself or become someone you are not. They work because they communicate something that reaches deep into human perception, organization, care, intention, presence. The structured bag that tells the room you are someone who pays attention to detail. The gold earrings that illuminate your face and draw people toward your expression. The cognac belt that finishes your silhouette and makes every outfit look considered and complete. When these three details appear together, or even when just one or two of them are in place, people perceive you differently. They cannot explain why. They will not stop and think, it is the structured bag and the medium gold earrings. That is not how perception works. But they will feel it. They will register you as someone who matters, someone worth noticing, someone who walked into the room fully present and fully herself. And the most beautiful part is that none of this requires you to be someone else. It simply requires you to understand the signals you are already sending and to make sure those signals are telling the truth about who you are. A woman of elegance, a woman of presence, a woman worth paying attention to. Now I want to hear from you directly. Which of these three accessories are you already using without realizing how powerful it was? And which one are you going to add to your look starting tomorrow? The structured bag? The medium gold earrings? The cognac belt? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and your responses genuinely shape what I cover next on this channel. If this video shifted how you think about getting dressed, if it gave you a new way to understand what elegance actually looks like in practice, I need you to do 3 things before you go. First, give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more women just like you who are searching for exactly this kind of honest, practical, perception-shifting style knowledge. Smash that like button now. Second, share this video with a friend. The one who is always saying she wants to look more put together, but does not know where to start. The one who thinks elegance requires a fortune. Send it to her, and tell her to watch until the end. 3 simple accessories. That is where it starts. Third, subscribe to Elegant After 60 if you have not already. Every single week, I am breaking down the quiet codes of elegance that most women are never taught. The signals, the details, the small, deliberate choices that change how the world sees you and how you see yourself. Hit the bell so you never miss a video. And here is something worth knowing before you click away. Next week's video covers the one color choice that makes even a perfectly tailored outfit look years older, and it has nothing to do with wearing black. If you are not subscribed, you will miss it completely when it drops. So do not let this be the last time we do this together. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Walk into your next room with your structured bag, your gold earrings, your cognac belt, and notice what happens when people look at you a second longer than they used to. Stay elegant, stay present, and I will see you in the very next video.